Alright, Assalamualaikum, welcome everybody. Everybody ni dua orang je.
Waalaikumsalam.
To Usrah Usahawan, satu sesi, satu forum di mana usahawan membantu usahawan. It's a usahawan membantu usahawan punya forum. Bukan dengar daripada seorang je actually. Yeah. And hari ni kita ada dua orang je. tiga orang. Termasuk saya tiga orang. Yeah. And kita nak bincangkan tentang teknik coaching dalam bisnes. Ya, macam mana nak guna coaching dalam bisnes. Dan topik ni keluar kerana Nazrin, ya, sini. Ya, kerana dia bertanya soalan yang menyebabkan saya kata, ini boleh dibincangkan. Dan ia perlu dibincangkan kenapa? Kerana there are many people out there yang successful businessman, ya, atau businesswoman. And then because they're successful, then they will tend to have a following. Yeah. And these followers come to them and ask, how did you become successful? And most of these people don't know how to coach people. They don't know how to coach their followers. They become mentors kadang-kadang tu, which is mentoring is satu benda yang lain. Yeah. They become teachers kadang-kadang tu, just tell this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do. Yang menyebabkan for some people dia ambil apa orang tu cakap, tapi bila benda tu tak menjadi maka dia akan datang komplain balik. It doesn't happen. So many business owners kat luar tu dia tak erti macam mana nak buat coaching, macam mana nak coach orang. Ya, apa bezanya coaching dan mentoring? Ya. So sesi malam ni adalah untuk Liza nak bagi tips lah. I nak share with you how to do that coaching tu sebenarnya. Terutamanya dalam kes Nazrin ni, group coaching. Sekumpulan orang nak datang kepada dia, nak belajar daripada dia. Tapi masing-masing kepala lain-lain kan, problem lain-lain, business lain-lain. And then macam mana nak handle mereka ni dalam satu bentuk sekumpulan. Okay. Nazrin, could you just rewind and ask the question again that you asked me?
Rewind and ask the, okay, whatever I add this afternoon pun I lupa. Okay, jap. To have a group coaching with clients dalam that group, that small group tu, to resolve issues on debt management, nak manage hutang, ke arah kita nak settle hutang tu secepat mungkin.
Right.
So that is the main issue. Kita nak coach, this group of small group of people.
Okay. Now, if they were to follow you totally, then you're not doing coaching actually. Yeah. If they were like, okay, this is how you do it. Step 1, step 2, step 3, it's not coaching lagi. That's you becoming the PLF lah. You're doing the program per se. Yeah. When it comes to coaching, it's usually a one-to-one punya scenario. Yeah. Then to me it's coaching. So when it comes to as a group, maka to me you need to facilitate this group of people. So you're playing the role sebenarnya as a facilitator, not real coaching. Yeah. Because in this role as the facilitator, I'm Hajah, the queen of coaching is coming. We need to acknowledge.
Kenapa tak dengar suara ni?
Yeah. Kita orang mengata pasal tu tak dengar suara. Waktu you tak dengar tu kita orang mengata.
Itu I dengar.
Hai sister. Assalamualaikum.
Alright, so when it comes to a group punya scenario, you need to facilitate them ke arah sesuatu. And this time, the facilitation is not learning facilitation, because you're not doing anything actually. You're not teaching them. You're not sampaikan anything. Tak, okay? It's them finding out their issues and then coming out with their answers for their problems. So it's not coming from you langsung. So I came up with a technique called business facilitation, and that technique asal usulnya is when Dewan Perniagaan Melayu Malaysia they were doing something called the teh tarik punya session. It is as per apa Mak Saleh punya teknik apa? Lebih kurang coffee something. So they didn't call it
Brown
coffee.
bag,
Coffee
brown
what?
bag,
Brown bag.
brown
is it?
bag.
Brown bag.
Yeah, some call it brown bag.
Right, brown bag. Well, I remember them saying coffee something, you know. So they call it teh tarik in session, whereby a group of entrepreneurs, usahawan, come to them. And then one of the senior usahawan, super duper senior punya usahawan would facilitate that group. Now, what happened in Dewan Perniagaan at that moment in time, because that senior person didn't know how to facilitate, so it became, oh, this is what I did, so follow what I did. It became that, satu. Number two, it became a dumping ground for the usahawan to dump their problems on that particular person, which defeated the purpose or the objective of usahawan help usahawan tu. So when they turned to me and they said, Rizal, could you come up with this technique of facilitating this group of people? So it's a facilitation of usahawan help usahawan. Okay, so it would start with okay, what's the problem? And somebody would come out and say, okay, my problem is saya ni tak dapat modal. Saya nak buat bisnes tapi tak dapat modal. Macam mana nak dapat modal ni? Very general statement contohnya. Okay. Then I'll say, okay, apa yang anda dah buat untuk mendapatkan modal tu? So step one is to ask this particular person yang ada isu ni, what have you done already? Now this is important. Why? Because if you don't ask that, and then when everybody else gives their suggestions and feedback, takut duplicate apa yang dia dah buat. Yeah, you will get very frustrated when somebody says, aku dah buat yang tu, aku dah buat yang tu, aku dah buat yang tu. Everybody gets frustrated when somebody responds that way. Yeah. So the step one is to ask that particular, what have you done sebenarnya? And now let's say this person says, okay, aku dah pergi kat bank lah, aku dah tanya kat bank. You being the facilitator, that moment you need to be chunking down. Get them to be specific. Okay, which bank sebenarnya have you gone? Okay, saya dah pergi Maybank, Agrobank, dan M-Bank contohnya. Oh, 3 bank ni saja, 3 bank. Oh, bunyi macam banyak bank kan. Padahal sebenarnya 3 bank saja. Lagi apa lagi yang dah buat? Oh, saya tengok saya punya simpanan lah. Simpanan saya dah habis lah. And usually, what happens, Nazrin, bila orang mula cerita problem dia, what usually happens? Agak-agak.
Orang lain pun rasa they are in the same situation, in the same boat. They will start to throw what they have done.
That will be the number 2 that will happen. Do you know what the number 1 is?
Not sure.
They get emotional.
They become emotional.
Okay.
Si Nizam who deals with usahawan nearly every day would know best. Yeah, they become emotional. So your job as the facilitator, you need to calm things down. Right? When they start to get emotional, for example, they'll say, saya dah pergi ke jabatan ni, oh bodohnya pegawai tu, and then they go, they go off track. It start become emotional. So you need to jump in and say, jap. Alright, kamu dah pergi ke jumpa dah pegawai ni. Alright, so apa yang dah berlaku? You have to keep things. You have to take out the emotion out of it, and you have to be very strong on that. Okay, so then he already finishes telling you what steps he has done to solve his problem. Okay, then you turn to the rest of the group, the rest of the circle, and you say, okay, now that all these people, now that you've heard what this man has said and the steps that he has taken, can anybody suggest differently? When somebody gives a suggestion. Okay, then again, when somebody gives a suggestion, you still have to play that role, yeah. Because again, people who want to suggest and help kan, dia pun jadi emotional juga. Emotionally excited ke, but emotional. And they start. So you have to play that role. Whenever he or she gives a general statement, you chunk it down. And they give that statement. once that person give one or two opinions, then you say, all right, okay, thank you very much. Anybody else? Then somebody else gives. Now you go on until everybody is, number one, have given original ideas, meaning they don't duplicate one another. Yeah? Everybody has given original ideas. And then you turn back to the person who came up with the problem in the first place. Then you ask, you've heard these people giving suggestions. Which one would you do first? So as these people are giving suggestions, that person is practically writing it down. Yeah. Which one would you want to do first? So from the many suggestions, he says, oh, that person number 3 just now, he said this, I've never done this. This sounds like a good idea. I want to do this one first. Yeah. So what you're helping that person do is coming up with an action plan. From the many suggestions that you heard, all right, which one you want to do first? That is more or less it. Now, it sounds very simple, very symptomatic, but it is very difficult when emotions get involved. Yeah. For example, things can happen like somebody gave the suggestion, and then he comes out and said, "Nah, that won't work." And then you say, "Hang on, let that person finish. That person is giving you a suggestion. You listen up. If they ask clarification, you allow that. They want more specific input from the person who gave the suggestion. You'll allow that. Yeah. Now, at the end of the process, when this person says, "Okay, this is what I'm going to do," then you tell him, "Please thank everybody who gave the opinion." All right. And he thanks everybody. Then you say, "Okay, next, who has an issue?" And you move on that way. Yeah. Now, this is what I call business facilitation. You facilitate a group of usahawan whereby they help each other out. You hardly say anything. In fact, you might not know what the issue is in the first place. and yes, we learned that in SOIF, kan? Yeah, a person who comes out with a problem, you dengar macam mana pun, tak mungkin you faham. Ya, Nizam macam kadang-kadang kita ni ada problem, masa orang tu datang, aku faham apa kau lalui, kau rasa nak tampar, di mana kau tahu? Yeah. So same goes in this particular situation. Yeah, you without any experience in entrepreneurship sekalipun, you can still be that facilitator, because that's what all you do actually. You're facilitating. You're being that traffic policeman, in fact. Yeah. And that's very much it, Nazim. That's how I would do it. Yeah. Nizam, how would you do it? This is a group usahawan, Nizam. Ini bukan seorang-seorang datang ni, group usahawan. How would you manage a group usahawan in your case?
So far the same thing.
So far the same thing, Hanif.
So far the same thing.
Anything different?
Unless sometimes kalau ada yang group tu, macam contoh memang soalan yang paling popular about tak ada duit lah. Walaupun kadang-kadang even if they have the money, tapi dia tak ada benda-benda lain, they cannot buat juga. Tapi they have this kepercayaan, this belief that everything can be solved with money. Itu satu yang salah lah. But we are not solving kita tak boleh ajar dia tau. So biasanya kalau orang yang bertanya, orang yang ada sekali tu ialah those yang boleh ni pun nak kena coach juga ni.
Hasbi, I'm recording.
You know what he said?
Hasbi, I'm recording this, Hasbi.
Recording.
Hasbi was my classmate during my degree time. Orang-orang
ni, tapi kadang-kadang they don't have tak ada yang boleh bagi solution. Contohnya orang tanya pasal loan ke pasal apa, yang lain kata aku pun sama. Yeah. Memang tak ada. So dalam case yang macam tu, then tak nak, I just give them a few pandangan lah. Because I have the info.
Right.
And macam sekarang pula baru saja kerajaan launch bawah SME Corp, di bawah penjana tu ada something they call it SME assist, something like that. Tak ingat nama tu. Maknanya they can just get into there, daftar, akan ada base counselor, akan ada, dia orang akan matchkan apa the problem. So that is the least yang I boleh buat lah kalau dah kata apa, I'll give that. Tapi biasanya memang akan ada lah smart alex ke apa ke yang memang dia apa, biasanya akan ada, jarang lah you facilitate tu tak ada jawapan. Pasal akan yang lain-lain ni dia datang nak selesaikan masalah. This is the problem sebenarnya. Everybody sebenarnya ada solution. Dia orang just tak boleh fikir sendiri, dia nak someone, you know.
Dia nak
bila ada someone,
then,
kan, yelah aku tak buat lagi. Yelah. So biasa gitulah. We just facilitate. We don't really, macam kita kata lah, even I have to deal with a lot of them every day. Even hari Minggu, dia orang ni tak kisah kan. Dia orang WhatsApp me at 12, at 1 in the morning kadang-kadang. Pasal alasan dia, kita orang sibuk berniaga siang, malam je I boleh contact you. So, kita pandai lah. Kalau kita layan, they will keep doing it. You know, you kena arrange. Tapi they know the solution. We just
macam mana kita belajar kan, Nizam, kita kata orang yang bertanya soalan adalah orang yang sudah tahu jawapannya. The person asking the question is the person who already knows the answer to the question. Now, Nazrin, if you listen to what Nizam said and what I said, even though you have a group of people in that session, you are actually just dealing with one person at a time. And after that one person has been dealt with, meaning he or she has already found their solutions, then you move to the next person. So it's not a free for all, everybody dumping all at once stuff. Pengsan you, Nazrin, kalau jadinya macam tu, you will never be able to cater. So it's no such thing as that group coaching kind of mood. No way. Unless everybody wants to listen to you. Then it's not, to me, it's not group coaching sebenarnya. You're actually being the PLF. You're facilitating learning. You're doing a program. It's a mini program. So you're catering one after another. And the best thing is the input is not coming from you. In Nizam's case, Nizam is the pegawai who can help. For me, I would give my opinion the very last. After everybody in the group has given their opinions, I would give last. I would like add on. I will never be first. What happens, Nazrin, if I'm first to respond?
Then the others might not speak.
Number one.
Possible.
Number two, they look upon you as the person of knowledge. And then what happens? Then that free for all comes out lah. Everybody starts dumping on you, and you don't want that. You let this person speak, that person speak, this person speak, that person speak, then you give yours. So that's group coaching. Haja, do you do it any differently? Have you done anything like that?
Never done business facilitation before. In fact, I attended your certification, business facilitation.
Tak dapat sijil lagi kan? I asked.
Tak, I menangis juga. Sama ada satu spot kosong je kat wall tu.
Orang banyak sangat sijil. Lekat dekat kereta je lah. Lekat tampal kat wall.
Poster. No, but I agree. It's actually like anything else is a process. And the process owner is us. You know, as long as we know what is the end that we want, we just follow the process. And in any coaching situation, it's not about us, it's about them. So we speak 20%, they speak 80%. If we need to speak 20% at all, maybe 5%, 95% them.
Yeah. It's best you speak less.
Yeah.
Once you start, sorry, Annie.
No, go ahead. No, no, go ahead. After you're done, then I have a question.
If you speak more, then you be looked upon as a person with knowledge. And they totally bergantung dia. Itu yang telefon pukul 12 malam.
Yeah. Well,
Because
I'm just curious. Tuan Nizam is in what business?
I actually attached dengan one state subsidiary dekat Terengganu, Yayasan Pembangunan Usahawan Terengganu.
Yayasan Pembangunan Usahawan. Wow, okay.
Yeah,
That is like
and dia sebenarnya kalau kita tengok MARA, Tamikop, Pekun apa semua tu, that's a federal punya level. Dekat Terengganu kita ada state punya level juga. And I'm also yang the one in charge. Kita orang ada macam Sekretariat Pembangunan Usahawan Terengganu yang mana ada 39 agensi keusahawanan seluruh Malaysia kita gabung sekali kat Terengganu. So every 3 months kita ada discussion, we have meeting so that tak ada redundancy lah. So I'll be the one yang headed mendalah tu. Satu botak dah ni. Pasal bukan just nak jaga usahawan.
Baik kita pakai tudung Nazrin. Dia pun tak nampak.
Nizam, you bukan tahu dia orang ni ada rambut ke tidak?
Itulah kan. Nipu semua ni.
Nipu. Sanggul pun sanggul.
Nak kena jaga agensi jugalah. Nak kena jaga agensi juga. Pasal kadang-kadang agensi ni, dia orang banyak orang kata nak solo tau. Dia orang nak kejar KPI dia, nak tunjuk I'm the best in apa ni, developing usahawan lah. We don't want that in Terengganu. Kita nak kita orang kerja sama lah. So, tapi so far okay lah. Okay, not that bad. Tapi macam kata tadi lah, Rizal kata, I made a mistake. Awal-awal dulu, I eager pasal I was in banking dulu. Masa kat banking, tengok orang ada masalah apa semua, and then I masuk sini. Jadi
problem
I eager nak tolong orang tau. Problem solver. And then, you know, macam 70 WhatsApp masuk lah apa. Gila, I cannot do that. And then, lepas tu lah, I start buat group. You know, buat group, ada grouping. So satu soalan tu kita lemparkan ni dalam WhatsApp pun kita tanya, okay, siapa yang ada yang tahu contohnya? Orang berlumba-lumba. Because nature orang nak tunjuk gempak. So use that. Tapi bila in the end, dia orang kadang-kadang tak ingat siapa yang bagi idea tu, dia akan ingat the facilitator tu. So at least orang akan ingat apa-apa I can get people together untuk tu. Tapi I'm in that line lah.
Oh, that's very good. Alhamdulillah. So the Terengganu punya business environment is coming up. Is going okay.
Yang orang Terengganu kan menakutkan pun ada. Actually kita baru je dapat 25 ni kami dapat 4. So everything picking up. Business buka, orang apa ni, hotel pun dah start full dah. Last week dah full dah. Memang kita suka lah, tapi at the same time rasa juga scary-nya, takut juga kan. Tapi lega. Pagi tadi I pergi jogging, jumpa orang tegur, few kawan tegur, and then they look happy. Bila tanya, dia kata, oh, the best week in after a year and a half, you know. So
masya-Allah.
Alhamdulillah.
Maaf Rizal, lari topik. I was just curious.
Never mind. I memang nak cakap pun, Nizam, I nak pergi Tanjung Jara ni. Nak rindu.
Jom.
Beautiful place. Beautiful.
Alright, so
kita orang terbalik lah. Kita orang lebih pada pergi KL lah, Melaka lah.
Jangan datang KL, Jam.
Jangan datang KL.
Ini juga.
Selangor tak ada air.
In-law dekat KL.
Selangor tak ada air. Lagi teruk. Dia pun semua tak
In-law
mandi.
dekat KL. Tapi kita orang balik bulan 12 kot. Mak mertua kat sana.
Okay.
Alright, we have another coach coming in. Coach Sheila.
Ya.
Khabar Sheila, sihat?
Sekejap, nak capai tudung.
Okey, capailah tudung dulu. Jangan ambil lama sangat make up. Payah, tak perlu. Alright, so Nazrin, questions, come on.
Just now Tuan Nizam dia ada mention kan, bila tak ada siapa ada idea ke, tak ada siapa boleh bagi that jawapan kan, kita suggest. So suggestion from us, would it be okay knowing that nobody is saying anything, giving any suggestion? Ke kita tanya lagi? I don't know. I'm always putting myself as a coach hat. Asking.
You need to balance it out. I would give my suggestions at the end as number one. Yeah. There is a situation whereby I sendiri pun tak tahu what to do. Yeah, whatever that person's problem is so unique that everybody cannot give any suggestions. Then I would say, okay, how about we take this down and we'll forward it to the relevant agencies. So contohnya waktu tu kat Dewan Perniagaan tu, they had connections of course with government agencies and they could ask directly. And in the next meeting, that particular issue is brought up and delivered to that person, atau terus once you get the information, terus WhatsApp that particular person. So that session is still looked upon as something helpful. Yeah. I would still refrain yourself from giving and you give suggestion. You want to make sure that you give suggestion. Yeah. Because if you get somebody to hold on to your word for word, kalau benda tu tak menjadi, then they will belasah. I've met people going for Dr. Azizan punya programs kan, and they come back and they meet me and then they say, oh, that's all fraud. They kata, what Dr. Azizan said is all fraud. It doesn't work with my business. So I said, when you got that technique from Dr. Azizan, did you ask Dr. Azizan what was his intentions? Because his intentions in business is different from your intentions of business. So when he intended something and he ran his business with that technique, it worked. But if your intentions are different and you use Dr. Azizan's technique, it might not necessarily work because your intentions are different. And then it slaps his face. Yeah. So the point I'm making, Nazreen, these people will come with you with 101 problems. By getting them calm, you actually have solved half of their problems already. Yeah, because they're coming to you in this panic situation. Yeah. Sheila sempat pakai makeup. Sheila, kehebatan terselah.
Itu pentingnya virtual
makeup.
ada
Alright. Yeah, okay. Kerusi baru nampak.
Hello.
Alright, Sheila, tuan-tuan perempuan, Sheila does a lot of programs for people, usahawan digital dipanggil. Apa nama dia, Sheila?
Usahawan untuk dengan MDEC dan InScan. Okay.
Isu malam ni sebenarnya Sheila dibawa oleh Nazreen, di mana Nazreen bukan Nazreen kita lah, bukan Nazreen si lelaki itu tak. Bukan Nazreen kita ni. Dia kata kalau buat group coaching tu, apa formula bila nak buat group coaching? So saya dah bagi pendapat, everybody else dah bagi pendapat. Sheila pernah buat ke group coaching? Group of people datang duduk bersama Sheila dan minta di coaching kan? Apa yang Sheila buat?
Ada. Biasanya dia kadang-kadang sebelum sebab kita PLF kan, sebelum tu dia kena objektif dulu lah. Sheila akan tanya objektif dulu. So sometimes dia orang panggil coaching, tapi sebenarnya dia orang bukan nak coaching, dia orang perlukan consulting. Sometimes pula tiba-tiba dia tukar kepada training. Sebab sebenarnya pada pendapat saya lah, pada pendapat Sheila lah kan, bila kita sebut business coaching, dia tak sama macam life coaching. Kalau macam life coaching, we can do 100% coaching, memang coaching method. Which is, kalau kita pergi solve coach tu memang totally soalan and then dia yang akan come up dengan jawapan, everything semua. Tapi bila kita go for business coaching, pengalamannya lah sama ada personal ataupun group, dia ada kompetensi dekat situ yang nak kena dilihat. Sebab ada ketika dia pun tak tahu, memang tak boleh tanya soalan. Dia kena buka cap coach pakai consultant. Oh tak boleh pula cash cap PLF lah. Jadi bila group coaching, satu Syah akan tanya objektif lah. So the way cara yang Sheila buat adalah metodnya adalah metod ala-ala style coaching, which beberapa perkara yang Syah nak dapatkan info, Syah akan gunakan style coaching dengan bertanya soalan lah. Dan Syah akan highlight dengan mereka because of saya coach, jadi anda akan terima banyak soalan lah. And then bila buat tu dia akan ada due date macam itu. Dan bila go for action plan, saya bukan datang daripada saya punya suggestion. Oh, anda sepatutnya kena macam ni. Anda tak macam tu lah, sebab Izaja kan kena tampar.
Ya, memang kena tampar. Terbakar sijil tiba-tiba.
So kita akan apa yang contohnya apa yang dia nak, biasa soalan macam gitu lah kan. Dalam sesi kita ni apa yang nak, and then kita pegang dengan benda tu. Kalau pernah attend soft cash, lebih kurang macam tu je sebenarnya. And then bila daripada situ baru cakap daripada sini apa yang dah buat. Contohnya Sheila akan come out dulu dengan apa yang dia dah buat supaya kita tak pernah keluarkan apa yang dia dah buat rupanya nanti. Lepas tu bila dia dah buat faham. Bila dah buat dah ada sesi tu, lepas tu nanti ending dia apa yang boleh dibuat, bila boleh siap, berapa nak tarikh, due date, macam tu. Itu style group coaching lah, group coaching. Tapi sekali lagi balik semula, dia akan ada campur-campur consulting, campur-campur training bila disebut group coaching. Macam tu.
So it's not totally coaching.
Not totally coaching as one-to-one punya coaching lah.
Yeah, it cannot be. It cannot. So Sheila telah mengiyakan apa yang kami semua cakap tadi. Yeah. Now, tambahan yang Sheila bagi was at the end of the whole session, you need to seal it. You cannot let it just be like that. You have to seal it with an action plan. Yeah. And since all of us are soif melainkan nizam, so you seal it with soif. So for example, this issue, he has got a solution, this also has got a solution, this has got a solution. And then you say, before we break the session, we stop the session, we want to ensure that each and every one of us, even though you got a solution, you need to go away with an action plan. So you can straight away go on soif. You would start by saying, now that you have these solutions, what are you going to do when you get back? What are you going to do when you get back? What are you going to do when you get back? Please write now. So they start writing. And when they finish writing, this is what they're going to do. Then you say, that's your intentions. Remember, soif starts with an intention. Okay?
Yes.
So when they write it down, you want to make sure, number one, they write what they want to do, not what they don't want to do. Number two, you want to make sure they're writing it in detail as they can. Okay. And once they finish that, you just go around and get them to say it out so that you listen whether they really did follow your instruction. If you hear something vague, you chunk it down. What do you mean by that? Because sometimes people write just for the sake of you asking them to write, They're not doing it for themselves. It's because what you suggested, what you said, and they're writing for you. So when they write very general stuff. You want them to say, you're writing for yourself, so be as detailed as possible, that's number one, and make sure they write what they want to do, not what they don't want to do. Okay. Now, once I've done that, I say, that's your intention. You're going to listen to my set of instructions. Every time I say, you go back to your intention, you go back to what you wrote just now. Then you start. All right, what strengths do you have to be able to achieve that? Give me 5, for example, because it's group, kan? So tak boleh lama-lama. And you want to go just specific. So they write 5 strengths. When they have written that 5 strengths, very good, alhamdulillah, you have the strengths to be able to do this. Ada tak Allah in your strengths? Then dia tepuk-tepuk tangan, lupa Allah. Letak Allah di situ. Yeah. And then you ask, what opportunities can you see when you achieve this? Yeah. And they write down the opportunities. What improvements do you want to make to yourself to be able to achieve this? Yeah. What one particular specific improvement that you want to do to be able to achieve this? And then what's the opposite of fear? Yeah. Macam mana kita belajar solve tu? And you're doing it the selamba way. So what you're doing actually is they now have something to go back to and get it done with faith. Many people in front of you, they say, yeah, we got our solutions. But once they go back to their real world, you're not there anymore. And it hits them. I actually don't have anything. Yeah. So you have to allow them to go away from you with a concrete action plan sealed with faith. Then it works. Then you don't have people calling you up at 12 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Kalau tak 12 o'clock in the morning lah you menjawab. Atau dia tunggu kat luar rumah you dengan parang and scratch kereta you dulu. Boleh? Yeah? Any other questions, Nazrin? Or anybody else?
With this, right? It's like it would settle within that session, or it would break into few sessions.
If it was my experience lah, if you're asking my experience, because of NLP and stuff, I would get it done then.
Okay.
NLP for me helps shorten the process now, especially when you start to chunk and you reframe and then you do solve, you know, it shortens the process. Because I notice other people who do coaching, example, yeah, even though it's business coaching one-on-one, sekalipun, they take like months. Why? Because they have this in my mind, I have to follow up kind of thing. And sometimes it drags. But then, you know, you have so many people who need your help now. Yeah. So in my case, I would do anything and everything possible in the most simplest way possible. That's why taking out their emotions too very fast. I'll do it very fast. When they start to go emotional, I said, hang on, you want to resolve this guy? You want to talk about this pegawai in the jabatan? I want to resolve it. Okay, then let's get back to it. So I keep things in track always. Yeah. I don't know. Nizam, does your sessions drag?
Depends. Macam kata tadi lah, bila I start guna teknik yang coaching, maknanya macam yang kita cerita tadi, dia tak drag sangat. Macam usually after, dia orang akan datang balik tapi mungkin 3 bulan. So jumpa 3-4 kali je setahun lah, something like that. Tapi bila I lebih kepada okay, macam bagi solution kan, jumpa orang ni dulu apa, lepas jumpa tu pun dia akan get back kat kita. So benda tu akan dragging lah.
Okay.
So, kalau so itu beza dia. Yang sekarang banyak macam Reza kata lah, I have too many dalam kalender kan, too many. And patutnya I kena tengok orang untuk buat benda-benda ni. Tapi unfortunately bila ramai tak boleh, dan kita pun tak apalah, we have to do it juga. So banyak sangat. Kalau nak semua datang balik kat kita memang fail lah.
Pengsan. We have another coach in the house. Mat. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, Sifu.
Boleh bercakap?
Baik.
Yeah. Muhammad is who also coaches SMEs. Yeah, ya betul, Mat?
Betul.
Kamu coach dalam bidang-bidang apa selalunya? Bila orang business luas. Which part?
Fokus kepada social media, ads, FB, IG.
Very good. Now, Mat, kami duk sembang-sembang ni. Nazrin dia bertanya tentang bila kita coaching sekumpulan orang,
Okay.
how do you do it? Nah, kami masing-masing dah bagi pendapat masing-masing macam mana kami coaching sekelompok orang. Dan dalam kesimpulan kami ni ialah walaupun dia sekelompok yang datang, kita tak boleh coaching semua sekali. Dia one by one. Okay.
Betul.
Mat punya pengalaman macam mana?
Saya sediakan saya punya skrip coaching di dalam di dalam satu tempat dengan menggunakan bahasa yang simple, semua orang boleh faham. Saya skrip tu saya ubah macam contoh siapakah audiens yang kamu pernah target, macam tu lah kan. So saya ubah, saya letakkan dalam workbook sebenarnya. So saya kata dekat situ, let's say 100 orang pernah membeli awak punya barangan ataupun services anda. Di kalangan mereka yang paling ramai dalam kurungan 50% ke atas, saya sediakan soalan, contohnya umur, jantina, pekerjaan, apa. Maksudnya detail audience tu yang ramai lah. Contohlah 100 orang, yang paling ramai siapa dia, golongan mana. So dalam workbook tu memang saya sediakan tempat kosong supaya dia tulis. Saya coaching macam tu.
That's another new idea. You siapkan the questions ready and they respond to you accordingly in a different way. Yeah.
Betul.
Boleh, Mat. Thank you, Mat.
Right.
We have also in the house Kak Yati Kaizek ke situ. Hai Kak.
Assalamualaikum semua.
Assalamualaikum.
Sorry terlambat, baru habis kelas 1, baru habis coaching.
Kak pernah tak coaching sekelompok orang? Now, Kak Yati Kaizek, Nazin, you have to understand, her background is childhood education. Okay, and she has this group of people who either want to set up their centers they want to train their teachers and they come to her for that kind of advice. Yeah. So most of the time she probably become that advisor or consultant, but then sometimes she does that coaching kind of thing. So the question is, Kak Yati ada buat group coaching ke? Kerana dalam kami dok bincang tadi ni lah, walaupun sekelompok orang datang kat kami, tak adalah kita buat group coaching tu sangat. Kita just do one, dah selesai that one, then the next one, then the next one. Tak adalah sekelompok tu bercakap bercerita, pengsan kita. Kak Yati punya pengalaman macam mana?
Okay, Riza, for time ini pun Kak Yati coach ada buat satu coaching dengan grup 25 peserta di bawah Kementerian Wilayah Persekutuan. Mereka ni adalah pengusaha-pengusaha taska di rumah. Where dia orang buat taska dia di rumah. So apa yang Kak Yati buat sebenarnya kalau coaching tu Kak Yati lebih prefer one to one sebab kita nak melihat apa dia punya apa yang kita boleh bantu dia daripada apa yang Kak Yati akan bantu adalah daripada apa yang Kak Yati dah sediakan, match dengan dia dulu apa yang dia nak dulu, apa yang kita dah ni, sebab daripada bisnes dia tu baru kita boleh ni, sebab dia ada dua kaedah yang berbeza. Ada yang baru nak memulakan bisnes dan ada yang memang dah ada di pertengahan bisnes. So it will be two different approach lah kan Kak Ati nampak. Yes. So tapi kalau group tu Kak Ati lebih kepada contohnya, alright, I have this group ni, sebelum mulakan coaching tu akan ada taklimat, bukan taklimat lah, I should ada macam sesi bicara santai which mereka akan bercakap and each of the other person tu akan dapat some info yang berbeza-beza. So I akan ada group tu dulu. So daripada situ nanti I akan pecahkan accordingly. Okay, kalau dekat sini mungkin yang ini dia perlukan bantuan daripada sudut documentation. Okay, I dah boleh kumpulkan. Macam tu lah. That's how I would do.
So you put them into groups berdasarkan kepada isu masing-masing.
Yes. Lepas tu tapi I tackle one by one.
Exactly.
Yes.
Cool. So di sini she'll tackle one by one in terms of berdasarkan kepada isu masing-masing. Gang documentation, I'll just talk to that group in terms of documentation. So she still does that group coaching, but because of the singularity of the issue tu, it becomes easier lah. Everybody's going to listen to her. In the case that Nazrin bawa tadi tu, these people coming in with different issues. So unless you can put it as per Kak Yati Kaizek ni cakap, in their particular issues and then you address their issues one by one, then okay, itu urus. You still very much, this whole group is still very much manageable. Okay, that's it. Okay,
Alright.
thank you Kak.
Kalau let's say tadi siapa tadi tu Tuan Mat tadi.
Yeah.
He has so many audience. I think out of that 50 ke berapa tadi kan? It's a big group. But if we are focusing on a small group, is there any maximum number in terms of kalau that topic is very sensitive topic about, you know, hutang, about money, you know, sometimes kalau it's too big then it will be like caca marba kot. Any rule of thumb with number of clients in one group setting, small group setting?
Kita dengar Mat dulu. Mat, do you, bila sekumpulan tu datang kat you, do you set a had 50 orang saja ke, 20 orang saja ke?
Tak ada.
Tak ada. Okay.
So
Sheila?
dalam workbook yang saya buat tu, Puan Nazrin, sejujurnya workbook yang saya buat tu telah maksud daripada ditambah baik. Ditambah baik. Yes, berulang kali dan yang paling latest adalah kali yang ke-7. Dia tak, bukan buat sekali orang terus faham, orang terus rasa macam ringan nak jawab, sebab macam apa yang saya buat, saya selalu pegangkan kepada data. Contoh bila 100 orang. So tak ingatlah mana you punya database. Pergi cari you punya database baru main balik. Sejenis macam tu. So dia jadi berat. Dia jadi makan masa berat, masa, wang habis kau tengah jalan je. So apa yang saya buat, saya tambah baik lagi modul tu, supaya saya punya audience faham dan saya pun rasa macam senangnya nak monitor macam tu lah.
Okay.
I see.
Dalam tambahan dalam bab yang sensitif yang Puan Nazrin cakap tu, nak bagi nampak ini cadangan, nak bagi nampak dia macam orang boleh jawab, dalam kurungan tu optional. Soalan coaching kita dalam kurungan optional. Dia tak ada lah heavy sangat.
Alright. Saya tambah sikit Nazrin. Jadinya sesi tu caca merba kerana kita yang tak menonjol diri lah. Kita tak in control. And you allow your group to bully you. Ya. Sheila, you tengok muka dia, no way dia boleh kena bully. Kak Zack dia akan slap you left and right. Nizam pun 2 kali 5 tengok muka gangster kan. Mat pun, yes, you heard him say it lah. Annie has that element juga. Me lagi ya. Right? So jadinya caca perba is because you didn't put your foot down. And you say, hang on, stop. You cakap dulu, contohnya, you know. So as long you have that, buatlah 50 orang depan you sekalipun, still boleh jalan. Dengan Dewan Perniagaan dulu, I did 100 people, and then I broke them into groups, and I moved from one group to another, and I can still facilitate it. And I was very much in charge. Yeah. So I say it's you as the facilitator yang menjadikan dia caca merba, because 1 or 2 people tu were more outstanding than you and they step on you. They bully you. Yeah. So you decide.
Tried.
Yeah, you decide.
Sorry, have not tried. Yeah.
Before this, secara online lah, masa yang mula-mula pandemik tahun lepas, that's my first time in a group coaching. Is around 30 to 50 packs jugalah. Which dia under agency, saya dilantik for digital marketing. Tapi digital marketing nanti tiba-tiba termasuklah cerita pasal kewangan lah apalah, tapi kita kena in control lah. Sebab nanti tak capai kita punya objektif kan. Kalau ikutkan dia orang semua nak luah perasaan kan tengah pandemik kan. And then Sheila kena meet dengan mereka sebab agensi bagi masa for 1 month. So every week, once a week kena jumpa mereka. So ada macam-macam lah. Semua ni first time nak kena meng-onlinekan bisnes. Banyaklah soalan. Kalau jadi dan mereka pula minta Sheila kena setiap sesi nak kena ada sesi perkongsian sedikit ilmu. Dia bukan cerita kita just consult or coaching mereka je. Jadi 1 jam yang pertama kena kongsi ilmu sikit, very gist betul kena kongsi. Lepas tu 1 jam yang kedua nak kena layan soalan. 50 packs soalan digital. Ada yang advance sikit, tiba-tiba tanya pasal FB ads berbelok-belok. Yang ni dah menganga, okay? Baru buka FB page kan. Jadi macam kita layan je, tinggalnya kita kena in control lah macam Rizal cakap tu kan, sebab tu kita ada worst case scenario kan dalam PLF kan. Jadi so kita akan, kalau macam dah terlalu banyak sangat, ada certain Sheila akan minta mereka tulis dekat chat. So kita akan come out dengan soalan-soalan dekat chat. Itu online lah, masa Syah buat pengalaman online lah. Kalau dia physical ni kita sabar-sabar sikit lah kan. Dan Alhamdulillah manage to settle the program within 2 hours. Dia memang tak boleh lebih. Kalau coaching ni lebih daripada 2 hours ni dia mengarut dah jadi.
Ya, bukan saya mengarut, kita yang mati.
Betul. Penat kan?
Penat. Saya.
One to one pun penat, apatah lagi lah group.
I coaching one on one dah penat. It takes half the day for me to recover.
Betul.
Kalau 3 hari tu ambulance standby lah kat luar. Siap bagi homework lah, macam gitu. Macam Puan Nazrin kan bahagian kewangan Puan Nazrin Yep.
Yes, kewangan.
Pada pandangan Sheila lah, ya mungkin ada satu sensitif isu kepada mereka untuk mereka kadang-kadang nak transparent, tetapi bila repo kuat sesama dalam group dengan facilitator tu habis, semua keluar waktu tu. Tinggal kalau buat kewangan ni, yelah macam Rizal Azhar kena control lah dia orang, kalau tidak habis semua cerita dah ni semua keluar. Itu je lah, sebab group kan, group.
Yes. True. Yeah, thank you. Banyak feedback. I mean, I really treasure a lot of pointers. Sometimes ada yang beyond my thoughts yang I fikir it can be done ke, tak boleh happen ke. Alhamdulillah, dah boleh ada that plan and that flow how to carry that group facilitation. It's actually a facilitation, not that questioning.
No.
Yeah.
No. So that's why I it's not really coaching. Coaching to me is always one-to-one. even in soft coaching, kita ada group soft kan. In group soft, you are actually directing everybody towards a certain way. You have that framework already, and everybody has their own intentions, and you're just directing them according to your framework. And that works. Why? Because everybody's listening to you. Yeah. Ini when you have different people with different issues coming to you and expecting things from you, you want to go and do coaching waktu tu, pengsan tau. I don't see you getting any headway there. Yeah.
True.
Alright. Nazrin seems to be out of questions. Kiranya tuan-tuan perempuan ada soalan nak tanya. This would be a good time. You want to appreciate, Nazrin, Sheila has a whole, not only a whole wealth of knowledge and information, she has also been in the ups and downs of business. You name it. Daripada goal business dia, daripada kemusnahan goal business dia, daripada being cheated and all that. She's gone through all that. This is Sheila. Okay. Then you have Kak Yati, who has opened multiple business in every place that she has traveled. Daripada sekejap sini, sekejap situ, pindah tak belum habis unpack dah pindah lagi. She's like open close. She's gone through that kind of life. Yeah. Then you have Matt here, who's gone through his own experiences in business. Yeah. So Alhamdulillah, with your topic today, we have got a good perspective of things. Itu belum lagi masuk Hajah Annie dengan Nizam ni lah. Dua-dua kepala yang banyak pengalaman dia kan. Alright, guys. This is going to be a short session kalau tak ada siapa cakap banyak.
Sheila ni saya rasa macam dah kenal lama je.
Siapa Nizam?
Sheila. Saya rasa macam dah kenal dekat FB ke apa lama. Biasa buat program di Terengganu ke?
Pernah.
Okay. Biz counselor dengan Inscan ke?
Betul.
Bukan saya tu award winning.
Saya dengan Yayasan Pembangunan Usahawan.
Nizam, this is award winning coach. Award winning.
Itulah dah terkenal.
Terkenal.
Bila check dalam Facebook pun dah friends since 2016. So lama dah.
Ya, dia stalking lagi Nizam ni. Dia suka buat macam tu, dia suka stalk.
Apa ni tuanku ni YPU
Yes, YPU. Kita memang jaga khusus apa semua anda saya lah.
Suaminya Ejol Lutfi. You tak kenal kan dia?
Ya ke?
Dia tak famous sangat berbanding dengan Sheila.
Jujur juga lah Rizal.
Off topic sikit. Sheila, ayah dah contact you belum?
Belum
lagi ya? Okay. Just sampaikan salam saya kepada Ejol dan cakap kat Ejol, Rizal kata Rizal minta maaf sangat. Rizal minta maaf sangat.
Okay.
Nanti bila Rohaya nanti contact you, nanti you faham kenapa Rizal minta maaf sangat. Kak Ejol, minta maaf Kak Ejol, bukan kat you, Kak Ejol.
Siapa ya? Okay, baik. Boleh.
Off topic. For those of you who tak kenal Nazrin is background banking. When it comes to money management, this is the person that you want to invite and talk. Yeah, you seen her Usrah Usahawan punya video 2 weeks ago. That has stirred a lot of interest on Nazrin. Seriously, we need to invite you again with a different topic lah.
Inshallah, yeah. The content is in the making, on the way.
I had a usahawan from Penang who asked for the Excel tip, and apart from that, he was also telling me, dia kata, it was like slap on my face dengar Puan Nazrin cakap, dia kata, bantai ni menangis Kak. Saya, Nazrin, you buat orang menangis dah sekarang.
For the good reason. Inshallah.
Good for you. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, ada any more tambahan? Kalau tak ada, this is it. Short session hari ini.
I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for sharing the ilm. I've got a lot of takeaways here that I can formulate into the facilitation, intended, inshallah. Thank you.
Tuan-tuan dan puan, inilah Usrah Usahawan di mana kita membantu sama sendiri. Kalau kita tak bantu sama sendiri, siapa nak bantu kita kan? Yeah. All we need to do is just ask the question. Ada seorang akan menjawab. Kalaupun kita tak belajar apa-apa, kalau kita pun tak boleh jawab apa-apa, at least everybody belajar something today. Yeah. Thank you for being here tonight, Hajah Annie, Nizam, Kak Yati, Sheila dengan Mat. Everybody baru dapat baby. Say Tanya, please. Mak mau dapat baby.
Tak cukup tidur.
Ya, apa dia? Tak cukup tidur. Baru the suffering has begun. Alhamdulillah.
The third ring,
yes. Alright. Rakaman ni tuan-tuan dan puan akan dimuat naikkan ke YouTube channel PLF, Professional Learning Facilitator dan Bisnes, apa nama kita punya Facebook page tu, Mat? Bisnes Facilitator punya page, ya. So that you can refer to and please share to anybody who can find benefit from this. Yeah. Again, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Jap, Mat, tolong tangkap gambar, Mat. Mat, tolong tangkap gambar. Dah. Okay, menggigil tangan ni, Mat. Kenapa?
Okay.
Alright,
Okay,
bye-bye. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. Alright.
Sheila bagi tahu Ejo minta maaf.
Okey. Apalah ceritanya lah tu. Okay, baik. Okay, thanks. Adalah tu lah.
Tengok Rizal berbelum-belum minta maaf ke Ejo ni.
Kenapa pula? Okay, nanti saya sampaikan sebab ayah tak kontak lagi ni.
Ya, dia belum kontak lagi. Nanti bila dia kontak tu, kau faham lah kenapa Rizal dah minta maaf dengan Ejo ni.
Okay. Alright. Okay, Rizal.
Alright, bye.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam. Mat, you okay?
Okay, Sifu.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alright, good.
Alright. Bye, Sifu. Assalamualaikum.
Salam.